So I'm going to do a series of mini vlogs, and I'm going to turn that into a whole video to upload that onto my YouTube channel. But so long story short, I didn't take care of my teeth as a child. As an adult, my mom didn't take me to the dentist as a child. So through time, my teeth slowly started to decay, I guess you would say. And as I got an adult, I started going to the dentist, and he was fixing them and taking care of them. And then I stopped going to the dentist, and so that went on for years. I stopped going to the dentist, and then at one point I went back to the dentist to get a tooth fix, which would be this one right here. I got that one filled, and then I moved, and then I went back to the dentist, had my teeth looked at. They were like talking about dentures, and I was like, that time I was like, no, I am not doing dentures. We are not doing this. I'm too young. I don't want to do dentures. So then they opted into another option of fixing my teeth, and I have that is actually a thing. And so what had happened was, when I was younger, my mom wasn't taking me to the dentist. She did at one point, and then she just stopped. So when she had took me to the dentist, I had a tooth that was, I guess, rotting or something, and they put a silver cap over it. And so as I got older and my adult teeth started going in, I had an adult tooth that grew in behind. I had a molar back here that was capped silver, and then my actual adult molar grew in behind that, which be hair on the roof, pretty much on the roof, kind of on the roof of my mouth. So the dentist I had seen right after I got an adult, he had removed the silver cap, he removed the one behind it, and some molars on this side that had started to decay. See, I had this molar, and then he removed several of these. So anyways, long story short, when I went to Columbus, so I told you that I had moved again, so I moved to Columbus, now that we're up to date. So I moved to Columbus, and he's like, okay, well, since you don't want to do dentures because you feel that you're too young, we have another treatment option. We can try to repair your teeth, get them back to a good state, and then we can put braces to try to correct this tooth, the fang that's crooked, and try to get you the perfect smile. And somewhere I'll insert a picture of me back then when he was repairing my teeth. I'll insert it somewhere here on the screen. I had a beautiful smile, but the problem was he did root canals on teeth that did not need root canals, i.e. this one, that one, which had a filling, by the way. He did a root canal on it. This one, these two molars back here, which are now, I'll get to that in a minute. I don't want to show you them at the moment because I want to show you when I talk about what had happened to them. He didn't do one on this molar back here. He did root canals. No, I don't think he did root canals on any of my bottom teeth. So if you notice, on the bottom of my teeth, look, pay attention to behind my teeth. None of them are black. All of them are still in their natural white state, I guess you would say. The whitest you can go naturally. Now the top, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try. And I'm sorry if anybody, this is a PSI. If you do not like seeing people's rotten teeth and bad teeth, please scroll on to another video. I'm trying to show you this so that way, even if nobody sees this and I look back on it, I see the state of my teeth that I had gotten into from this dentist doing root canals on them. And technically, when you have root canals, you're supposed to have them capped because of this. So first of all, we're going to start with the front feature of them. They're falling apart. This one's it's crumbling off in this corner. This one isn't. because he repaired it, and it's got like this hard shell on it that he had to harden with this black light. So that one's not falling apart, but it is actually dead. So I showed you the front, what they look like. This one actually just broke off. The filling that was there, it broke off, and then it's just been slowly breaking off from the root canal, and you can see where it's black right there. So that one's just completely dead and done. But the back of these is what I actually want to show you. So I don't know if you could see that because I can't really see the video, but the back of my teeth are black. Right here. They're black. They're actually turning black from the root canals because my tooth is dying. This tooth needs to go because it's crooked, and basically what she told me is they can try to correct it, but it's going to be painful, and they can try to fix my teeth, but it's just going to be, I'm just preventing the inedible. That molar back there, it's not bad. It's still a healthy tooth. The molar back here and the very back, it's starting to decay at the gum. On the side this way. So on this side, it's starting to decay. These two he did root canals on. Look. They've actually fallen apart. Years ago, I had the molars removed on the bottoms of these two sides because they were decaying from me not taking care of them. So I have no molars here. This one that was right here is actually infected, and I went to an oral surgeon. And he removed that one, and he asked me about this one, and I just told him to go ahead and remove that one right here, the one that was here. And so when he removed it, these two teeth right here, they start to shift in. So yeah, I have no teeth here. And on this side, it's the same. I had no teeth back there. And you can tell that my bite there, it has collapsed. Then on this side, I'm missing a couple molars in between here. And I think that's it. I think there might be missing one more, but I don't think so. And my bite up there has also receded. I'm trying to show you guys. So that's the gist of my mouth. I have literally 17 teeth left. I believe I counted it. I'll show you the picture somewhere here. I sent it to my sister. I'll put it in here somewhere. But so I literally have we'll count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 teeth on the bottom and 10 on the top left. So that's not very much starting out. You have your 32 teeth, I believe it is. And I only have 17 left. So it's not bad, but it's also not good. Technically, I don't have 17 teeth because those root canals, 2 of my molars have decayed into nothing. They crumbled apart before my eyes like this one is. I mean, look at that. It's just crumbling off. And every time I eat, this one and this one just crumbles. So I've opted into dentures. So I've already gone to my consultation, which was back in January or February, something like that. she was explaining to me that I had to wait 2 weeks for the approval from my insurance. And then my insurance came back and they approved for the procedure and the dentures, but they did not approve for the nitric oxide. So that has to be paid out of pocket. I already had to pay out of pocket for some other fees. There were some lab fees and another fee. I don't remember anymore what it was, but it come out to $467 that I paid out of pocket for that. But anyways, I want to go back to the first appointment because, like I said, that first appointment was back in January, February of 2024. And so I waited 2.5 weeks. I got the letter in the mail. I think a week later is when I got the letter approving the procedure and the dentures. And I'm trying to think. So then I had an appointment in March. I know it was in March. So I had an appointment in March, and I was starting to really second guess my choices. So I canceled that appointment, and then she rescheduled it for April. She rescheduled it for April. April come around. I canceled that one. Rescheduled it again for May. May come around. I canceled that one. Rescheduled it for June. And we're going to get into why I kept canceling my appointment. So think about it. I canceled it 3 times. And the reason I kept canceling it is because I was second guessing my choices. I was like, do I really want to get dentures? I don't want to do this. I know it's going to hurt. I mean, let's be honest. Going to the dentist is not a fun experience. The whole situation is traumatizing. It's just a horrible fucking experience. It's just a horrible experience. So I was like, man, I really do not want to do this. So I just kept telling myself that every time I canceled it. And then finally, June come around, and I was like, mind you, I have the money to pay for this. I have $400 of it. I was $67 short. My husband had to pay that, unfortunately. So I was like, well, I was like, this is going to be a kind of a long video. Well, at least this section is. I don't know about the next couple. They might be short clips, but I hope it's not a long video and you guys don't have to sit there and watch me ramble on. So anyways, so I go to the appointment, which would have been last week on Tuesday. I'll put the date up here somewhere. I'm going to have to get in my calendar and screenshot those dates and then put them up here somewhere so that way I'm not forgetting, or I'll put them in my notepad. That's what I'll do. And that way when I make this video, I can go back to the notepad and be like, okay, it was this date. So last Tuesday, I had an appointment, and that's when I paid that fee. And that appointment, really, I was canceling that appointment for 3 months, and all it was is I was supposed to get impressions done of my top and bottom teeth. And so I went into that appointment, paid for it, left. They rescheduled me. She asked me when I wanted the next appointment, and she was going to schedule it like 3 weeks later, and I was like, no, girl. We need to schedule this as soon as possible because there's no sense in dragging this shit out. Literally no fucking sense. So she scheduled it for this week which would have been yesterday on Tuesday. And, mind you, we're in June right now of 2024. So yesterday I had an appointment for the impressions, or it was a bite registration, sorry. Yesterday was a bite registration. And girl, let me tell you, that procedure is not supposed to hurt. But when they literally heated up that plastic, and I think they cooled it down because when they stuck it on my gum, there was something plastic on it, and it kind of cut into my gum. And then I couldn't bite down because I hadn't had any teeth in them spots. And oh my gosh, I'm 37 now, so since I was in my 20s. So when she was like, bite, 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 the doctor was shoving down on that thing, and she was like, the nurse and the doctor were like, bite, 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 and I'm biting, and I'm like this, girl, I cannot bite anymore. It's not happening. So I'm like, and they're like pushing. See, I got discoloration here. It's dying. Anyways, so she's pushing on my double chin. Sorry. I gained weight and I'm starting to lose it, so lose skin. It'll go away as I'm losing more. Anyways, so she's biting and she's taking her fingers and going like this. Pushing. And the doctor's like, okay, good. We got it. And then they're looking at it and they're putting it on the mold of my teeth. And they're like, this don't look right. So they stick it back in my mouth and they're pushing again. But I think at that point they were trying to get the upper. And they're like, bite. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, I didn't say that, but I'm thinking that. Like, dang it. And so they're pushing. As I'm biting. And then they got that impression. And so she comes back and she's looking at them. And she's like, this don't look right. And then the other one's like, oh, well, maybe it's because my front teeth are pushed out further than what they're supposed to be. My front teeth are not supposed to be out as far as they are. Like, if you look, see they stick out, way out. They're not supposed to look like that. They're supposed to be more in. And my guessing would be because my adult teeth were being, like, I think it's because of all of the mess that happened back here with my fang and the baby tooth and my tooth growing behind, the reason my teeth grew the way they did. That would be my guess. I don't think it's because of anything of me sucking my thumb or nothing like that. I think it has ultimately to do with the fact that my mother did not take care of my teeth, and I had that whole mess going on back there with the baby tooth and my fang growing and crooked and the molar growing in behind it. I think it was just too crowded and it shoved my front teeth forward. So the dentist did the bite registration, and then she was talking to me and she said, well, you got a lot of anxiety, you got a lot of you're anxious when you go to the dentist, so we need to talk about options for that. She's like, have you ever taken Valium before? And I'm like, yes, but really, I lied to her because I didn't want to tell her no, and then she was like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't give this to her. I was afraid that she was going to say that, so I was like, yeah, I've taken that before, I've taken that this time, and which really, in reality, the truth is I've never taken Valium in my life. I've taken Xanax, but I've never taken Valium in my life. So she's like, okay, well, we're going to prescribe you 2 Valium, and then she starts telling me when I'm going to take it and all of that, and I don't remember anymore what she said. I don't know why I don't remember what she said. I think I was just so anxious and stuff about the whole situation, and so I think I wasn't kind of not paying attention. I was paying attention, but I wasn't really paying attention. So, she said she was going to give me Valium, and she was like, oh, I'll send it to your pharmacy, and she said da-da-da-da-da, and that's literally what it was like for me, da-da-da-da. And then when she left, I asked the nurse, I was like, so I'm confused. I didn't understand what she was saying. So when am I going to get the prescription for the Valium? And she was like, you're going to get it 2 or 3 days before your appointment. And I was like, okay, great. But before that, the doctor was asking me when I would like to schedule for my surgery. And she also asked me if I wanted laughing gas, and then she started talking about pricing. She was like, it was going to be basically $188, and I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, God damn it, I really can't afford to pay out of pocket more money. Like, this is getting expensive. But then as I sat there and I got to thinking about it, and I was like, well, maybe I should go ahead and get the laughing gas. So as she was going to make the appointment, I told her, I said, yeah, let's just go ahead and do the laughing gas. And she's like, well, it's called I think it's called nitric oxide. So I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do the laughing gas, the nitric oxide, basically laughing gas. And she was like, okay, I think that's a great option for you to do the Valium and the nitric oxide together, because I think it'll help a lot. And I was like, okay. And then so she got into scheduling, and she was like, well, we're going to send this out tomorrow, which would have, today they sent it out. And she's like, it's going to take 2 weeks for it to come back. So, looking at the calendar, she's like, well, minus next week. So next week would be the week of, what is the date today? Today's the 12th. So not next week, the week, let's see. I'm sorry, I'm going to get rid of this part. So, let's see. Today's the 12th. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. No. 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So not the week of the 20s. So there's a... So next week would be the 18th to the 21st. They're not going to, it's still going to be apparently being made during that week. So then you skip that week and you go to the following week, which would be the second week. So they should be getting it that week on that Friday, because she said it takes 2 weeks to come back. So then that week would be 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It'd be the 24th to the 28th. And she's like, it should come in that week, but they didn't want to schedule it that following Monday and then it not be there that Friday. So she's like, okay, well, we're going to do July 8th. And then she was looking at her scheduling and she was like, well, let's just go ahead and do July 9th at 9. And she was like, is 9 a.m. okay? And I was like, yeah. And she was looked at me and she was like, you have to make sure you have somebody with you, because you're going to be heavily dosed up on Valium and on laughing gas, and you're going to be very delirious, and you cannot drive home like that. And I was like, I said, okay, that's fine. I said, I can have my husband take me. And she's like, okay. And, so that's when the nurse the doctor left, and then the nurse stayed, and that's when I asked her when she was going to give me the Valium, and then she told me 2 days before my appointment, 2 or 3 days before my appointment, which, by the way, girl, I will be calling them 2 or 3 days before my appointment and make sure they sent that script over, because I am not showing up there just with laughing gas. No, that's not happening. So, anyways, which, by the way, I will be calling that Friday. Maybe Thursday, but possibly Friday, because if I call Thursday, then I still have Friday to call them back. But if I call Friday, then I could only have Monday to call them, and I don't need them dragging their fucking ass. So anyways, so I got my card and I left there. Well, no, I want to back up a bit. So she gave me my appointment, and I followed her around to the desk, and the girl at the reception desk is like, she's like, okay, and she's looking at it, and she's like, well, they're going to have to call you back for pricing and all that, because I don't know nothing about that. And I'm sitting there thinking, what fucking pricing? She was talking about how much I owed or something like that. It was something to that effect. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about? Like, girl, I just paid $467 last week. You are not sitting here going to tell me I owe more than just $188 for the anesthesia, because my insurance covers everything else. And I was like, we ain't going here. So I was like, I was just sitting there. I was like, okay, and I just walked off. She said they'll call you if you need to pay something else, and they never did call me, by the way, because I don't owe any more money other than the fact that I owe the $188 for the anesthesia. But I don't owe anything else, so don't know what she's talking about. And they never did call me, so. So I left there and I was sitting in my car, and I don't know why, but in a way I kind of felt a little anxious, a little excited about it, but in another way I was a little scared and a little freaked out because, for one, who the hell likes going to the dentist and then they stick that little sharp needle into your tender gums? That's not a fun experience. And I mean, not only that, but then you're sitting there and they're grinding on your teeth, they're yanking on your teeth, which is very traumatizing in itself. You don't want them pulling out something you were born with. Well, not born with, but you were born to have. You've had them things most of your life, aside from when you had gums when you were a baby. So most of your life you had a full set of teeth. Not technically a full set. I have teeth, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. So I'm like excited, but in another way I'm not excited. I'm excited for a full smile and a full set of teeth and a beautiful smile. But at the same time, I'm not excited because, I mean, let's be real. Think about it. Think about it in this way. They're yanking out your teeth. They're putting stitches in the spot where your teeth were. And then they're placing something on top of it. So you're taking a wound. You're cutting it open. You're cutting it open, stitching it back up. And then you're sticking something on top of that stitches. You don't want nothing on top of those stitches, especially gauze or nothing like that, because it hurts. So they're taking my teeth out, putting dentures on top of my wounds. This is nothing like before when I would have all the extractions done on the bottom teeth. No, because those times I was able to heal on my own without anything being on them. That's not the same this time, girl. They're literally sticking dentures on top of my wounds. Then the butt of it is I'm not going to be able to eat anymore. I'm going to eat soups and not even salad, smoothies and yogurt and things like that because I cannot eat because I've got a raw mouth full of no teeth. And who knows what she's going to have to do on this side because these things decay down to nothing. So, you know, the after process is going to be painful. There's going to be a lot of sleeping for sure. And you can't really do much with your mouth. I mean, I'm nervous about me having to learn how to talk again. I'm nervous about learning how to chew again. Not really nervous about the denture part because my husband has a top set. So, because when he came from Guatemala, his teeth were really bad. So he had to have his teeth fixed and they didn't want to fix them. They just told him they need to be pulled. So he has a full set on the top. Not on the bottom, but on the top he has dentures. So he kind of explained to me that when they get loose, you can go back to the dentist and they'll put a liner, soft liner in there to help them fit better. And he said, he pretty much told me I can use the powder to hold them in. So I'm not really nervous about the whole denture thing. I'm more nervous about the procedure, and I'm more nervous about the denture sitting on my wounds. I'm not nervous about the food part because I don't eat that much anyways. So I'm not really nervous about that. Actually, here lately I've been overeating because I know that when I get those things, I'm not going to be able to eat heavy food. So there's that. So there's a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of excitement. Every day I'm always researching dentures and the procedure, and I'm watching all kinds of videos every day. And some people get me all excited about it, and other people get me all like, do I want to do this? And the majority of the reason is because I don't want those teeth to look like my sister's. My sister's dentures look so bad. And she had beautiful teeth before that, and she got in a situation where her teeth started to rot out, and so she needed to get dentures. And my sister's teeth are too small for her mouth. So instead of looking like I do, that is my resting face. I'll show you my resting face. That is my resting face. My sister's does not look like that. It literally looks like she's frowning constantly. And if I could, I'll post a picture somewhere of her. I'll kind of blur out where her actual face is, because I don't want to show my sister. I just want to show my sister's mouth. But I'll show a picture somewhere here of my sister, but she's constantly frowning. It's like this. Something like that. And it's really not her fault. Just the dentist office she went to did her dentures wrong. They didn't do the impressions of her teeth. They did her impressions after they removed her teeth. So they did the impressions of her gums. So her dentures do not match the way her mouth used to look like. I'm nervous about that. I'm nervous about what the teeth are going to look like. I'm nervous about, are they going to be too big for my mouth? Am I going to have chiclet teeth? I'm nervous about the bottom ones. I don't want to have a shitty smile. I want to have a beautiful smile. And the sad part is my insurance only pays for dentures every 6 years. So I have to stay with these dentures for 6 years unless I pay out of pocket for the permanents, which, let me get up. And let's see how much they cost at my dental office. So here is the treatment plan. Oh yeah. So it's for immediate upper, it's $2,100, and for an immediate upper, it's $2,180. For an immediate lower, it's $2,203. So it's really expensive. So that would be something, if I really want to make them look different, I want permanence. In 6 years, I'm going to have to readdress this and go back to the dentist and get permanence. But, like, so here I am, and I'm like, man, I gotta have these teeth for 6 years. I don't want them to look like bad. 1. And 2, I have a small mouth. Like, literally, even the impression thing she stuck in there was too big for my mouth. I have chubby cheeks right now because I'm fat. But so, I don't want them to be that big. I want them to fit my little mouth. But I don't want them too small to the point they look like kids' teeth either. So I'm just nervous about that. That's the main reason why I kept canceling my appointment too. That was another reason, because I didn't want them to look like shit. I keep seeing other people with them, and they have beautiful smiles though, and I'm like, man, I hope mine look like that. There's a girl I watch on TikTok, and I love the way her dentures look. Everybody makes fun of her, but I think they look perfect on her, and I want mine to look like that. I hope mine look good. So it's a lot of emotions and a lot of thoughts, and it's just a lot of everything. And so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm only in June 10th, so I still have a day shy of a month left, and it's pretty much a month away. My appointment. My glasses are too big for my face. I'm still waiting on my glasses. That was another thing. So last week I was in the mood. I was like, done my dentist appointment last week on Tuesday. I was like, yes, let's keep this going. Let's go down and get glasses. Call the Dr. Towel over here in Martinsville. She got me in right that day. I come right over there. They got me in for my appointment. And after my appointment, I was looking at their glasses options that my insurance pays for, and I was not a fan of all of them. Some of them were too big on my face. Some of them didn't look good on my face. And I found a pair I was okay with. Wasn't really a fan of, but I was okay with them. And so I was just waiting on those. I got the sunglasses in. I can see good out those, but you can't really use those inside. My contacts, one of my contacts ripped. So anyways, we're getting off topic. So last week was long. I was excited about the appointment this week because I thought, okay, well, we're gonna have an appointment this week and I'll be able to talk to them into doing my appointment maybe next week or the week after. Then I got the sad news of the 2-week waiting period. So, and I was hoping she would have done it on the 3rd week, but then for some reason she skipped that 3rd week. She was going to do it that 3rd week, but I think she just got a little nervous that she wasn't going to get them in time. So that's the reason why I think she did the month out, which it's going to be a long month, and I'm going to vlog every day. Every single day I'm going to vlog, and I don't care if anybody sees this. I care that I'm posting this to, even if nobody sees it, I post it so that way later on I can look back and be like, wow, that's how I felt during that time. So, yeah. Just researching and watching videos. I was actually watching one when I decided to make this video. Oh, and the shade of tooth I chose was A1. She told me anything above that. A1 is the most natural shade of white you can go. Anything above that, it goes into white, like bleaching white or veneer white. So I didn't want it to look too white, so I chose A1. Yeah, that's it for now. I will come back at a later time. That's all I have for now. I'm gonna watch some more videos and play my game and not try to psych myself out so much about this whole nightmare. Alright.